What is Mintzberg Schools of Strategic Development? Well, Henry Mintzberg is a researcher and a professor studying strategy in organizations and how strategies emerge. He provided us with a framework identifying three primary categories of schools of thought. That is, three categories for which researchers fall into when it comes to researching how strategies develop in organizations. He identified the prescriptive school, which is more of a planning type school, the descriptive school, which focuses more on the organic development, and then the configuration school, which is really more of a categorization of different subcategories of the prescriptive and descriptive schools. So let's take a look at each of these. The prescriptive school incorporates researchers or trains of thought concerning the design of strategy, that is the formal planning of it, and how strategy results from the intended positioning of the organization. So these three subcategories, whether strategy is affirmatively designed ahead of time, whether it is the result of planning, or whether it is a result of market or overall positioning of the company. Now, the descriptive school seeks to describe overall conditions that give rise to strategy that's outside of the formal planning and development process. The entrepreneurial school, that is, strategy develops pursuant to innovation within the firm. The cognitive school, that it is highly influenced or effective by cognition or decision making or thought processes of individuals therein. The learning school, it's the product of continued development, practice, and experience in a given way of doing things in an organization. The power school, that is, it is the result of whoever arrives at power in the organization and subject to influence from power struggles. The cultural school, that is the organizational culture within the company, influences the development of strategy and thus the implementation. And then the environmental school, and that is that there are internal and external factors that affect the development of strategy. And then last, the configuration perspective. And Mintzberg proposed this as more looking at categorical approaches holistically for how they come together, and that all of them can give rise to forms of strategy within the organization. And he identified primarily the 5 P's. That strategy can be a plan, it can be a ploy, it can be a position, it can be a perspective, or it could be a pattern or scheme of the way you do things in the organization. So it really encompassed the others, but was really more focused on understanding the structural approach, accepting that all of these forms of or theories for the emergence of strategy exist and are relevant. So with that being said, Mintzberg Schools of Strategic Development are just that. It categorizes the various schools of thought that have emerged around how strategy develops in an organization.